Ever feel like you're the only one who doesn't have their entire career, like, perfectly mapped out, you know?
Absolutely.
Everyone else seems to have it all figured out, smoothly climbing that ladder, and you're just here like, "Wait, which way is up again?"
It's easy to feel like you're navigating through a fun house of career possibilities sometimes.
Right. And with all the twists and turns, it's tough to even know where to begin. So, in this deep dive, let's get real about career expectations, how to actually set realistic ones, how to have those sometimes awkward conversations about them, and how to actually enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
You know, it's funny. We often picture career paths as these straight lines, like on a resume, but in reality,
Oh, tell me about it.
they're much more like, well, imagine plotting points on a map.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
You've got your starting point, you've got your dream destination, and maybe a few key places you want to stop at along the way.
Yeah.
But the actual route you take.
It's never a straight line, is it? So it's more about having some direction, sure, but also being open to those scenic detours and those unexpected adventures along the way.
Precisely. And just like you wouldn't hop in your car and start driving across the country without, at least glancing at a map.
Or these days, plugging it into your GPS.
Exactly. Setting yourself up for career success starts with, well, setting realistic goals, which is what we're diving into today.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. Realistic goals. It's one of those things that's easy to say, but in today's crazy competitive job market, what does it actually mean?
It means ditching those pie in the sky aspirations and getting down to, well, like really practical steps.
Okay, so how do we do that?
So let's say your goal is to land a leadership position someday, right?
Okay,
Instead of just saying, I want to be CEO, do some digging.
love it.
Go on LinkedIn, look at people you admire, leaders in your field, and see like what their career path actually looked like. What were those stepping stones they took? What skills did they pick up along the way?
That's like reverse engineering success. I
And
love that.
yeah.
But I gotta say, even when you have clear goals, it can be so intimidating to actually say them out loud, especially to your supervisor.
Oh, I totally get it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Those regular check-ins you have with your supervisor, they're not just for like performance reviews.
Right.
Think of them as your secret weapon, your chance to actually voice your goals.
And get feedback, which is so valuable.
Absolutely. And you never know. They might even know about opportunities within the company that weren't even on your radar.
It's like having an inside scoop.
Exactly.
But speaking of radar, sometimes it feels like waiting for those career goals to happen is like watching paint dry. It's slow.
Oh, I hear you.
So, how important is patience in all of this?
Patience is key, especially in a world obsessed with like instant results and overnight success.
Mhm.
But remember, building a career, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You're playing the long game here.
So true.
You know, studies have shown that most CEOs, on average, they spent 7 years in that role before they actually became CEO.
Wow, 7 years. That's dedication.
That's years of, consistent effort, learning from the setbacks, adjusting their strategies, and constantly evolving.
It's a journey.
Exactly.
But speaking of marathons, I think it's so important, even amidst all that hard work, to celebrate the milestones along the way, right?
Oh, absolutely. Celebrating even the small wins is like giving yourself a mini celebration, like a little energy boost to keep you going.
It's like permission to do a victory dance.
Exactly. Did you land a new client? Did you finally master that spreadsheet software that's been driving you crazy?
I've been there.
Celebrate it, acknowledge it, because it matters, no matter how small it may seem.
I love that. Okay, we've covered so much ground here, but before we wrap up, I want to touch on one last thing: flexibility.
Oh, yes,
In today's world, with everything changing so fast, being flexible isn't just a nice to have, it's a must.
absolutely.
It's like navigating a busy city. Sometimes you have to take a detour, hop on a different train, or, hail a ride-sharing service to get to where you need to go.
That's a great analogy.
It's the same with your career. Be open to those new possibilities, be willing to adapt when things change, and never stop learning.
And sometimes those detours, those unexpected turns, they lead you to the most amazing destinations.
So to wrap this all up, it sounds like navigating a career path isn't just about having that perfect plan.
Nope.
It's about knowing when to toss the plan aside and embrace those detours, those opportunities when they pop up.
It's about finding that balance, having some direction, being open to change, and always, always staying curious. And remember, a fulfilling career, it's not just about climbing that ladder.
It's about finding something you're truly passionate about.
Yes, it's about making a real impact, aligning your work with your values, and never, ever stopping learning.
Absolutely. And sometimes the most rewarding paths are the ones we least expect.
You got it.
Well said.